I want to bring in now Jake Sherman, co-founder of Punchbowl News, and Tom Manger, former chief of the U.S. Capitol Police. And Jake, Punchbowl was first to report the administration's request for security funding for the executive branch, the judicial branch. And now we're just learning that Jeffries and Johnson are discussing how to protect members of Congress as well, many of whom have said that they too feel under threat and that they've canceled some of their public engagements in the wake of the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Do you think that this push by Jeffries and Johnson is what the members are going to be looking for here?
Yeah, they'll be happy to hear that they're talking about it. But as Mr. Manger can talk about, I mean, this is an incredibly difficult thing to protect 535 members of Congress. What the House has done so far is effectively they've already started a pilot program to give $5,000 to members of the House to hire private security when they're effectively not on the clock. You're going out to dinner with your husband or wife or kids. You could hire somebody to protect you. That is not adequate, according to a lot of members of Congress. But I think a lot of the public does not necessarily realize is that members of Congress get on airplanes, they go home, and they, generally speaking, are not guarded by any sort of big police presence like Mike Johnson, Chuck Schumer, and the rest of the leadership, John Thune, the rest of the leadership are. So there's a big desire in the House of Representatives and the Senate, more in the House, to get something done in this funding bill.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder, Jake. I've been on planes where I'm with members of Congress and have been surprised that they have no security detail with them. Tom, Speaker Mike Johnson says that all avenues are being explored with regard to security for members. Let's listen to what he had to say.
We're looking into all options to increase security measures so that they have plenty of coverage for their residential security and their personal security as well. And I think we'll be able to handle that. It's a calculation that everyone makes when they step forward to serve the public, not unlike those who, serve our country in uniform. It takes a certain element of courage.
It takes courage, especially in this heightened threat environment. What do you make of the Speaker's comment that it takes courage to serve as a member of Congress or in public life? And is there a degree of risk acceptance that's necessary to hold public office, especially in these polarized times? Do you think that what's being done, to Jake's point, is what's being done for these members of Congress enough at this point?
I think it has to be. I mean, we've got to do more. And an interesting point, this pilot program has been going on for several years, and the Sergeant at Arms has the control over this funding to enhance security at the residences of these members. Less than half, in fact, probably only about a third of the members of Congress have taken advantage of this program. I wonder now if that number will increase, that more and more of them will take advantage of this. But again, less than half have taken advantage of this program over the last couple of years. $58 million is really a drop in the bucket when you talk about both the judicial branch, which primarily is the U.S. Marshal Service. They protect the members of the Supreme Court. They protect federal judges. They protect the courthouses. But the rest of the executive branch, I mean, everybody knows about the Secret Service on the president, vice president, but the Secretary of State has his own detail. And these are employees from the State Department, the Defense Department. There's a number of agencies that have protective forces. And so if it's only $58 million, that's going to be pretty light in terms of making an investment that's meaningful. For the members of Congress, this is tremendously important because, and going to the first part of your question, this the number of threats that members of Congress get throughout the year is amazing. We have some members who have a higher profile that have dozens, if not hundreds, of threats against them. There's other members of Congress who don't have much of a national profile, but they still will at least get a handful of threats against them. So I think this is tremendously important that we protect them while they travel, we protect them while they're at home. And again, we have had recommendations in the past to them about getting a law enforcement liaison on staff. I know of several members, in fact, quite a few members who have ex-law enforcement folks driving them when they're in their home districts, so that they have at least a little bit more enhanced security. But there's so much that needs to be done in terms of security assessments, in terms of security plans, not just for the leadership, not just for big events, but for every single event that these members of Congress will attend.
It feels like this is the tip of the iceberg on this whole topic of security. And Jake, this request for additional security funding comes in the middle of a debate over the government funding bill. Obviously, $58 million, to the chief's point, it may seem like a flash in the pan, but what does it mean when you factor that into the bigger budget issues that our country is facing?
It doesn't mean anything, to be quite frank. It's almost no money, and the chief is right. It's not the real. I mean, Mike Johnson said to me last week, if you were going to provide a security for every member of the House, you'd need to hire 5,000 more Capitol Police officers at a cost of several $billion. That's not feasible. So the question is really, what do you do? And I don't think I've heard a good answer yet.
Yeah, well, hopefully those like you both and others will keep your eyes and ears on the pulse of what could happen here, because we do elect these officials to represent us. And so it, to some degree, feels like a bellwether of everybody's security. Jake Sherman, Tom Manger, thank you both.